So after reading about earning money by recycling, Solomon Marcus and Marcus rather are excited to do some recycling themselves. Uh, Solomon has some electronics his parents said he could recycle, and Marcus has permission to recycle some small household appliances. They looked online and discovered that the local recycling center offers 60 cents per pound for appliances and $1.50 per pound for electronics. But there is a $25 or $27 rather hazardous waste fee that has to be paid to recycle electronics no matter how much you recycle. So what they're going to ask us to do here is write a couple equations that represent the situation. So I want to identify some of the important facts, right? One of them is that let's see, who are they? Appliances. So the person who's recycling the appliances is Marcus. So Marcus is going to be recycling appliances, and he's going to get 60 cents per pound for them. Um, and the electronics, right? Let's see, it's Solomon is going to be recycling some electronics, and that's $1.50 per pound. But the thing also is there's a $27 hazardous waste fee, so that's something that apparently you've got to pay. And then I guess after you pay that, you get $1.50 per pound. So I don't know. I'll reserve judgments on the validity of this problem. Um, but let's just play along here. So it says write one equation that represents how much Solomon would earn by recycling electronics, and then write another that would represent Marcus earns from recycling appliances. Okay, so we'll write those two equations. So the one thing I'm starting with is a let statement, right? I'm going to let X be the weight of recycled items in pounds. So in any let statement, we like to say what kind of quantity is it? Is it a mass, or is it a weight? Is it a speed? Is it a time, or is it a unit rate? So this is the weight of recycled items in pounds, and then we have two equations, right? First, we'll write the one for Solomon. Solomon is the one who's recycling the electronics, and he does get more per pound, right? So does it say write an equation? Yeah. So we're going to say y equals, he does get $1.50 for every single one of the pounds. So, when you're writing this down, just make sure you kind of understand, right? If he recycled 1 pound, that generates $1.50. 2 pounds is $3. 3 pounds is $4.50. So as X increases, we're adding $1.50 each time. But there is this $27 hazardous waste fee. So they're going to subtract that one time. So a bad idea would be showing up with just 1 pound. Because if you showed 1 pound, you're going to have to pay them to just take it off your hands, right? It's the recycling fee for the hazardous waste. But if you're bringing in more of it, apparently, I guess it gets to a point where the weight of the object is worth it, so they'll take it. Okay, so Marcus, on the other hand, he doesn't have to pay this hazardous waste fee as he brings in his small household appliances, but he does only get 60 cents per pound. So the amount of money he earns is 60 cents. So I'll write 0.60 times every single pound. So each pound generates 60 cents. Now the next thing it says, how many pounds would they have to recycle so that they earned the same amount of money from the recycling center? So what we want to know is if we look at this, right, Y here represents the amount of money that Solomon earns, and over here Y represents the amount of money that Marcus earns. And we want to know when their Y values are the same, right? We want to know when they earn the same amount of money, right? When Solomon's Y is the same as Marcus's Y. Well, again, I have expressions for Y, right? For Solomon, his Y is $1.50, X minus $27, and Marcus's Y is 0.60 cents. So I'm going to solve this equation, and that'll give me the number of pounds that they recycle in order to get the same amount of money. So to solve this equation, I'm going to subtract 0.60x from both sides first. And it's real important if you're doing if you're taking away from both sides 0.60x to notice what's happening on the right hand side, right? When I have 0.60x and I subtract 0.60x, I'm left with 0, right? The equal symbol still stays. The right hand side of this side just equals the number 0. On the left hand side, when I have 1.5 and I subtract 0.6, that gives me 0.90x minus 27. Then to continue solving for x, I'm going to add 27 to both sides. So 0.90x equals positive 27. And then if we divide both sides by 0.9, we get that x is equal to 30. So they would each have to bring in 30 pounds. In the case of Solomon, he'd have to bring in 30 pounds of electronics, and Marcus would have to bring in 30 pounds of small appliances. And they would both earn, let's see, yeah, how much actually would they earn? So it's 30 pounds is what they have to bring in, but the amount that they would earn, but they would only earn $18, right? Because if I plug 30 into both of these, right? If I plug 30 in for this x, I get 18, and I should get oops, I should get 18 if I plug 30 into this equation also. Let me double check that on my calculator. Yeah, so I do get $18 there as well. So they would earn $18 and they would need to both bring in 30 pounds. So the answer to this question is they have to both bring in 30 pounds. 30 pounds of electronics for Solomon and 30 pounds of recycling for Marcus.